Cozy games, aka baby games, aka fake games for babies and girls to play, are a hot topic of debate in the ever-growing world of babies, of gaming. They're not made for real gamers like me because they don't have guns, skill trees, or big boobies. However, today I wanted to dive into this argument and answer the question, are cozy games real games? Do they deserve the hate? Are they as illegitimate as games as I am as a father?
Daddy, I have a plan.
Let's just get into this. I can't deal with him right now. First, let's unpack why people think these are fake baby games for diaper fillers. The main complaint with cozy games is that they offer no challenge like a real game. There is nothing difficult about them, you just kind of exist in them. For the most part, you don't even need to turn on your brain because there's no strategy you need to think up or enemies you need to react to. No one's gonna mess with your villager in their Sal painting. You're not getting better by failing and failing and failing and failing, and oh my god, why do I even play this game? Which is another important point. Progression in a cozy game doesn't affect the gameplay like it does in your traditional real man's game. Progressing in Spider-Man means I get more little gadgets to beat up racists with around New York City. It changes the gameplay and strategy going forward. Progressing in Sims means I can afford yet another room to do this in, which this doesn't really change anything now, does it? Speaking of change, you finish a cozy game as basically as the same person that you were as when you started the game. Can you say that about Tears of the Kingdom? I know I can't. Made me into a hateful person. This was such a disappointing game, dude. I didn't even beat it, to be honest. No, we don't need to get into that, okay? We're talking about cozy fun stuff. Not about your favorite game sequel taking way too long and then just being the same. Sorry, we don't need to get into that, but no, actually, we do need to get into that, okay? Tears of the Kingdom, look, great game on its own. That's awesome. I love what you guys did. I'm gonna let you finish, but this is the same game, and I don't care about connecting shit. If I wanna do that, if I wanna build stuff, I will play Bad Piggies, the better Tears of the Kingdom. Sorry, I went too far there. Let's stay on script. Now, this concept of being changed by the game extends to your character. Cozy games aren't real games because there's typically no story. You're not moved by a cozy game because there's nothing to be moved by. They lack emotional pull due to a lack of story and stakes and someone important dying, which just pisses you off, but you understand that it's supposed to happen, but somehow you still feel sad about it. I know this bitch dying is as crucial to Spider-Man as his fucking shooting cum from his wrist, but it still hurts. It still hurt when this happened. Now, that doesn't mean you can't give them a story, but if I'm controlling everything happening in The Sims, and I'm the one voice acting this breakup, am I really gonna be moved by it? Unlike well-written real games, I don't feel like these two characters are misunderstood people with backstories and fears and dreams. They're literally just me and my boxers clicking predetermined prompts. Although me starting fights and losing my job repeatedly is technically a story, none of it is out of my control, and I think that's what people mean when they say cozy games have no story. Not knowing what's gonna happen is what makes a story interesting. Cozy games typically don't offer that kind of storytelling. Certain ones do, but not the big ones you think of. I know we're talking about cozy games today, but I gotta interrupt myself to tell you about something scarier than anything you saw on Halloween. Data brokers. What they do is legally collect and sell all types of information about you, including your name, phone number, address, and even relative names. Why are we bringing grandma into this? That's too far. That's why I use Delete Me to protect my privacy online. Delete Me is an easy-to-use subscription service that removes your personal information from hundreds of data brokers and people search sites across the web. Why should you specifically use Delete Me though? Well, they're trusted by judges, medical providers, creators, journalists, and so much more. You think as a creator, I'm not as important as those other things I listed? I've made fun of the chain smokers so much, I am genuinely afraid of what their fan base would do to me if they found any of my information. I'm always on the run. Also, Delete Me was recently named the #1 data removal service by Wirecutter. And that's no fluke. They've been the leading expert in personal identifiable information removal for over 15 years. That's from back when skinny jeans were a thing, but in Delete Me's case, good privacy never goes out of fashion. I've done the whole Googling my name and trying to get rid of whatever comes up, and oh my god, are you kidding me? There is no way I could have found everything that Delete Me found. Just look at how many listings they had removed for me. Take control of your online privacy today. Get 20% off Delete Me consumer plans when you go to joindeleteme.com/chon.digital and use code CHON, or just scan the QR code on screen. It's so easy. Again, that's joindeleteme.com/chon.digital and use code CHON. Too much information online is creepy. Remove yours with Delete Me. Thank you to Delete Me for sponsoring this video. And finally, people don't see cozy games as real games played by monsters monster chugging bucket filling gamers because they don't require any skill. I don't think any of these games could be played competitively. I've never heard someone be like, I'm better than you at The Sims. I'm gonna kick your ass, bitch, at The Sims. I guess you could technically do a challenge where you race to $1 million or so you can unintentionally kill the character first, but that doesn't require skills like hand-eye coordination, reaction time, and slur fluency like real games do. Okay, now you might be mad at me for dismissing your favorite game, and if you're not, you're about to get mad at me for defending little baby girl games. Now it's time to take off our gamer glasses that make every topic black and white and somehow get rid of our sense of smell and add some nuance to everything we've been discussing. The first thing I want to discuss is progression and this notion that cozy games don't got none of it. Yes, they have progression. That's often the main gameplay mechanic of these cozy games. Sure, it doesn't affect your gameplay like typical progression does, but there is a difference in the game from when you start to when you finish. You start The Sims like this, and then you end like this. Or like this if you're doing the popular 2006 Michael Richards run. In the quintessential cozy game Stardew Valley, you have so much progression to go through. From the tools you use that make your workflow more efficient to the farm you're on, these things all compound to allow you to progress to bigger, better projects. Or so I've loosely gathered from talking to Chips about it. I've never played this game. This game's a baby game, dude. I played tough games where you beat up kid. No. Why is that where I went right away? So while yes, you're not necessarily progressing by upgrading your perks and getting bigger, better weapons to beat up bigger, badder bad guys, you still are progressing. Are you progressing in life? Why don't you worry about that first? I play games like The Sims, SimCity, and sometimes Animal Crossing. I don't know, that one's kind of boring to me. I play those games for the progression, dude. Half of my gameplay in SimCity is just looking at graphs, dude. This is riveting to me. I do not understand this argument that cozy games have no progression because that is the main fucking focus of half of these games. It's just not in the typical sense that you think of. Cozy games just do progression differently, and they do the same thing with epic skills. Gamers love to tell you to get good, so if there aren't mechanics in a game where it makes sense to tell someone else to get good, then it's not a real game. Again, I disagree, and not just because I've been told to get good one too many times. Let's go back to The Sims for our example. I'm gonna use this one a lot because I have a lot of experience with this one. You don't need to have any skill other than, I don't know, the skill of reading maybe to play The Sims, but you can still use certain skills to be better than others at the game, even though there's no ending. There's no winning The Sims. It's like real life. You can't win real life. Except if you have a room to do this. The true winners in life are the people who can afford to do this. When I first played this game, I did not realize that building a house is more difficult than the SAT. In this case, I SAT through all of high school and went to community college, so I never took the SAT. Couldn't be harder than building a house in The Sims, though. I can guarantee you that, okay? You need to be a licensed architect to make these houses look good. I'm not even exaggerating here. It opened my eyes to the importance of details and form in architecture. It literally changed the way I view the world. I haven't played this game in a long time, and I still can't look at the world in the same way. And we're just talking about one aspect of one game here. The point I'm trying to make is it still requires skills to take these games to the next level. Maybe you're not getting better at 360 no-scope dick shots, ow, you're getting really good at shooting my pee-pee, but you are improving other skills like project management skills, architecture skills, and nunchuck skills. I'm not delusional though, maybe I am a little bit out there, but I'm not delusional. I'm not gonna tell you cozy games actually have everything I told you they didn't have. No. I'm gonna flip the script on you. Bet you weren't expecting that. Now I hear you say,
Cozy games don't have a story, and therefore they're not real games.
and to that I say, you have such a dorky voice, it almost automatically invalidates your argument, but I'll be the bigger guy and I'll entertain your little idea. Super Mario Brothers, much like napping in the same room as your friends who are awake, it's not always a cozy experience. It can be rather stressful. I don't want to be this month's inside meme. One of the biggest real game series with some incredibly difficult entrees also has no story. Yes, technically Peach gets abducted by Bowser and Mario has to go save her, but is that a real story, or is that something they just had to whip together because they realized, well, we gotta put something in this manual. Mario is not a changed man by the end of a mainline Mario game, much like your villager in Animal Crossing. He might get a little smooch at the end of the game, but is he a Redditor? Is this one female interaction a life-changing event for him? Now let's move on to the challenge aspect. Cozy games are too relaxing and chill to be real games. False. False, I say. Objection. I throw it up a lot in the bathroom. Many long-running, real epic gamer game series are so easy you can beat them while sleeping in another room than the TV. Again, Mario Pokemon, f***ing big rigs, dude. I would argue that cozy games still have challenging aspects. Sure, some of them are just, hey buddy, no one's gonna hurt you here. But others are like, hey buddy, no one's gonna hurt you here. But good luck making everyone not hate you. You see my point? You get what I'm saying? Let's not dwell on these little things. I wanna zoom out and look at the bigger picture here. I'm not trying to 40 chess checkmate. Your games are cozy games. You're a fake gamer and you're not allowed to skip showers anymore with your stolen Valor rent hoodie that you wear every day and it smells so bad. Please wash it. Rather, I'm trying to show that illegitimizing an entire game and its whole fan base because it's cozy doesn't make sense to begin with. Cozy games, by definition, are games. Maybe not your kind of game, but that's fine. There's something in this hobby for everyone. People are so quick to dismiss these games even though they do have progression, sometimes a story, and a whole lot of skills to apply. Bow staff skills. Watch what I could do. Yup. This is all from playing Animal Crossing. I know you're pissed off. If your girl's watching, dude, you don't got a girl no more. We're approaching this topic with no nuance because think about it. Games like Animal Crossing, The Sims, and Stardew Valley have been around and been considered real games since before cozy gaming was even a thing. Not to mention, most of these games have been around since before gaming hit the giant mainstream appeal that it has today. Another weird part of this is how people use this term to dismiss games that have a predominantly female audience. I know I'm gonna come off like Greg when he's defending girls. I don't think girls are stinky poos. Statistically speaking, girls are less likely to play video games growing up, so it makes sense that when they do choose to play a game, it's gonna be a little bit easier. And also, that should be a good thing. These are like gateway drugs into more hardcore games. If you grew up playing video games, you inherently understand the parameters. You know what A and B do, and you understand that for some reason, PlayStation has shapes. Why do we do the shapes? I don't like the shapes. If you're playing a game for the first time and you're already like 22 years old, you do not understand how to control a camera. I think it's great when more people get introduced to this hobby, even if it has to be through like a baby game like this, because when Super Smash Bros. Gets pulled out at a party, everyone is able to play at least a little bit. Sure, cozy games don't have intense mechanics and frame perfect moves you have to pull off like a regular traditional game does, but that's okay. That's the way genres work. I don't want to play baby games where you sit there and you farm for hours, so I don't. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna bitch if someone else does. If some 8-year-old girl with a Pokemon sounding name wants to play a cute little game where you just hang out and make friends, that doesn't affect me. Why should I care? I say keep her there so she doesn't practice headshots and end up fucking icing me in TF2 in a few years. Also, cozy games are important for people who have actual real lives, guys. Some of you guys forget that people go to work and have like stressful days. If you're a nurse, I don't know if I want you coming into work still tilted after failing a Dark Souls run the night before. I want you well rested, relaxed, and not in a murderous mood. Play what you want to play, let others enjoy their games, and 360 no-scope that subscribe button with that nasty chon. You got my pee-pee again. It's even funnier the second time. You could follow me on my socials. You could check out the Chon store, chon.digital, right into your browser for awesome merch. And thank you so much for watching this video. Ow. All right, let's boot up TF2, baby.